you spoke a lot about illiberal democracy in your presentation. Can you define illiberal democracy and maybe explain how it's not a contradictory phrase?
No, first, a liberal democracy is based on the rule of law, on the acceptance of the integration and the rights of minorities. And this is incredibly important. Illiberal democracies, they have working elections, free, not really fair, but in liberal democracy, we do not have fair elections very often as well. But there is a highly defective sector of the protection of minority rights. There is the desire to redraw gender equality. There is also the desire that we can completely close the borders of the nation states in order to avoid migration. So again, elections are still working in illiberal democracies, but parts of the rule of law is highly defective and damaged. Therefore, these are not authoritarian regimes, but these are democracies with an illiberal taint.
And then on the issue of social selectivity, you noted that the lower classes are leading the decline in voter turnout in liberal democracies. Is there an explanation for this phenomenon in political science or in your own research?
An explanation of what?
Of why the lower classes are leading the decline in voter turnout?
Yeah, of course. We know exactly from surveys and analyses that lower educated people are not interested first in politics, and they do not have knowledge of working in how democracies work. And if you ask people from the upper middle class, does it make a difference if you participate in political matters? 75% will tell you, yes, it makes a difference. They are self-conscious of their potential influence. And if you ask the lower third of the society, 75% would respond, no, it doesn't make any difference. And why should I participate then in politics? So the self-understanding, making a difference, it's completely different in the educated middle strata and the lower third of the society. So it makes a big difference if people know about political matters and how democracies function.
So can you elaborate on the idea of eco-authoritarianism you presented during your lecture and maybe discuss if you think it's truly dangerous to democracy?
Eco-authoritarianism means that a growing sector of the population, especially the very young one, even people from Fridays for Future who are not entitled to vote yet, they think that most of the governments, and especially, of course, the Trump administration, but not only the Trump administration, governments in Europe, they do not deal effectively with this overarching important question of fighting global warming. And if this is the case, if democracies or the government of democracies does not deliver on this matter, it makes itself irrelevant. So therefore, they are asking for an accelerated decision-making in climate matters. They do not want to have any veto players against it, and they are prepared to vote scientists, experts, technocrats into the government in dealing effectively with a question which they call a question of the mankind.